really very excited to meet you all today. You're from, what you're doing. Amrita, Amna, Sriram, Sampada, Praneeth, yay. Everybody's doing awesome. And on my side, there's a lot of echo, is it? Is that true?
Yes, there was.
There was, but not. I think there was some internet issue.
I think it's better now, Bhuvna.
Okay, okay. I'm connecting on my mobile data. Just give me a minute. Yes. Earlier. Now it's clear? Okay, great. Great, awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, this is so awesome, guys. Thank you so much for turning up for the second monthly meeting. Hope you're all doing very well. How about we just say hi and tell me where you're all logging in from. These are days where, you know, I know my friends who just moved to Pune, some of them working from Goa, from Shimla. I mean, all of them back here in Bombay, but then they've just moved because life has changed so much. So where really are you logging in from? Where really are you logging in? Jay from Coimbatore, lovely. Okay, Coimbatore is my hometown. Hi, Jay. Alok from Pune. Mumbai it is. Satish from Bangalore, yes. Okay, you from the next room. Bangalore, Delhi, Coimbatore, Mulund. Bharat, hi Bharat. From Mumbai, from Kottayam. Yay. Priya from Coimbatore, okay, that's awesome. Rajiv from Billai, Sumit from Indore. Wow, man. Thank you so much. Because in fact, I was thinking, how about we meet like offline? Because now that we've opened up, but this doesn't really look like a possibility with people from all over the place coming in. So we'll talk about that later whenever it's time on how we can really meet and greet each other offline. That's for another time. Okay, so from the last month, there's something that we really loved. So should we just go ahead and do that? So we know that everything happens twice, right? Once in our mind, and once it manifests itself in the physical form. So what we did last month is what we're going to try and do again, which is Tanvi's awesome video on money manifestation. So be here with her and enjoy this. Can you see this?
In this video, I'm going to take you through a visualization which will help you to achieve your dream wealth. So sit comfortably with your back straight. Gently close your eyes. Keep taking deep breaths. Slowly and gradually become aware of where your mind is taking your focus. Then bring your attention to your mental screen. Now on this mental screen, slowly create a picture of your ideal day. That ideal day where you are receiving money and wealth is coming easily to you. Keep yourself relaxed and keep breathing deeply. Now, in this relaxed and happy state, see yourself getting wealthier. And see how this joy, enthusiasm, positive energy, with this you are starting that beautiful day. See how your face is glowing. Look at your colorful dress. In this beautiful day, the universe is creating newer opportunities for you. Many new opportunities to create wealth are getting generated just for you. See yourself there. See these opportunities closely what are these opportunities. Now make these scenes bigger, bolder, and brighter. See how you're acting upon these opportunities, creating wealth, and helping hundreds of people through your services, products, knowledge, and see how these people are impressed with your products, services, and knowledge, happily paying you for your efforts. Make these pictures bigger, bolder, brighter. Now see how you are valuing yourself and accepting all this money coming your way. Look at this money. What does it look like? Feel it in your hands. Touch it. See what its texture. Is it in the form of gold, currency? Is it a check? Feel its weight in your hands. Feel the temperature and what form it has. Now feel those feelings of high self-respect and satisfaction of making this wealth. Feel how you're adding value to people's lives positively, and they are rewarding you back with immense wealth. See how the universe has made you, yes, you, the center of wealth, and see how you are attracting it from everywhere. See how much money is in your bank account. Look at those figures. Count it again. Imagine your rich life. Now, hear this internal voice which is saying to you, I'm becoming wealthier day by day. Hear this internal voice going round and round around your head, which is telling you yourself, I'm becoming wealthier day by day. See the make of your dream house. What does it look like? What are the colors on the walls? What are the textures of the upholstery? Hear the music being played in the house. Smell the food that is being cooked in the kitchen. Hear the happy voices of your family members. Now look at your dream car. What color is it? Where are you driving it? Now see yourself. Look at yourself. What brands are you wearing? Which foreign countries are you traveling to? See yourself meeting some really important people of the society. And look how comfortable you are with them. Make these images bigger, bolder, and brighter. And look at them closely. Bring them closer to you. Feel these amazing feelings for some more time. Now again, hear your internal voice doing circles around your body. I am becoming wealthier day by day. Keep enjoying these feelings and bring your awareness back to your body. Wriggle your fingers and toes. Rub your hands together and put them on your face. Now take them away. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. I, Tanvi Goyal, wish you loads of success and wealth in your life. And hopefully,
Welcome back to reality, which is what you see now. Hey. Okay, so you saw it all happen in your mind once, and then we're going to make it possible, make it happen once in real life. And let's see how it's been going for us. And these are some principles we agreed to live by to get to our 10 crore club. So just to give you a quick background, those of you who are dropping in for the first time, the 10 crore league, or what it was called the 10 crore club, the 10 crore league is an association. It's a community of like-minded individuals who've come here together with the common objective of building this kind of wealth the right way, doing the right things. So here we commit to meet every first Sunday of the month for a couple of hours between 3:30 and 5:30 to learn, to share inspiration, to share notes, to ask questions, to know from each other the progress that we're making, to keep tab of the progress, to hold each other accountable, and sometimes have a little bit of fun. There are some principles that we will live by here in the 10 Crore Club. And if you'd like to, please read it out along with me, and that'd be a lot of fun. You don't have to unmute yourself, but you can read it out with me. I spend intentionally. In our family, we work as a team. I save like a pessimist and invest like an optimist. I keep my promises and reach my goals. I eat healthy, I exercise, and I take adequate rest. I take responsibility for my decisions and destiny. My children are responsible with money. I'm filled with gratitude for whatever I have. I give generously without expecting anything in return. In the 10 Crore League, we believe that wherever you are at this point in time, you can get to the 10 crore number. And there is a foolproof method, a step-by-step method, a logical method to get there. And here in the next few minutes, what we're going to talk about is one of these concepts, and we go through all of them one by one so that we know where we are, right? So the step 1 in the 9 foolproof steps to 10 crores is where we say you get your first 1 lakh in cash for emergency, keep it away. Like the step 2 is purchase your insurances. Step 3, you're paying off all your loans except the home loan. Step 4, you create a 6-month emergency fund. At step 5, you start investing 15% of your income for retirement. At step 6, you build the corpus for your children's education or for your children's future. At step 7, you attack the home loan and pay it off in full. At step 8, focus on the 10 crore target and make your investments. And at step 9, you create a giving plan. So each of us might be starting at different points, but our destination is ahead of the others. Sometimes other people are ahead of us. We seek inspiration from those who are ahead of us, and we support people who are along with us and who are behind us. Okay, so can we have a quick poll in understanding, do you all know which step you are in? Kajal, can we have the poll?
Yes, it's on their screens right now.
Okay. Have you identified where you might be at this point? Do you have your 1 lakh in cash? Do you have your insurances in place? Are all your loans except the home loan paid off? Where are you? Do you have a 6-month emergency fund? And there's a method to why this is done step by step. And we're going to talk about all of this in much more detail. Okay, have you taken the poll?
5 seconds to the poll. Poll ending now.
Can we share the results also, Kajal?
Can you see the results?
Okay. Can you read out the answers for me? What's number 1?
Step 4, 23% are in step 4, create
Okay.
6 months emergency funds, and 23% as well in step 5 and 6.
Okay.
6, invest for retirement and children fund. That has been followed by step 3 and step 7.
Okay.
Pay off your loans.
Amazing. Okay, good. So this is a great starting point that we know where we are and what steps we have to take. However, we will spend time going step by step here because it always makes sense to go back and refer to your notes and know if you've done every step properly. Okay, so last month, if you remember, we did some work on what did we do last month work on? Anybody?
Budgeting.
Budgeting. Yes, we did budgeting. Okay. 6-month emergency fund is a dicey amount. Okay. So yeah, we did budgeting. Yes. Okay. So there was a lot of content going around on budgeting. We spoke about it in the session, and then we were sharing some notes and videos and tools and all of that. So I want to quickly know, how did it go for you? How did it go for you? Did you all get around to do your budgeting, or are you all giving one of these excuses? Did you get around to do the budgeting? So this is my way of holding you accountable, guys. But the point is that you're accountable to yourself. You've taken this upon yourself for your families. Okay, so you're accountable to your families, to yourself. Are you giving any of these excuses? Amrita saying yes to giving excuses or to doing the budget. Okay. Which of these excuses have you been giving? Yeah. Have you been giving any of these? I've not been able to fully focus. Last month, I'll give my 100% from January. Okay, so says Priya. She's probably saying something like the timing is not right. Okay. I couldn't crack the tool, so I've made my own budget tool on Excel for now. Need help with the tool. Okay, that's good. That's a great feedback to have. It was helpful. There was clear visibility on where the money goes. Being on paper, tool gave the visibility. Very good. Thank you, Praneeth. That is a very encouraging feedback. Satish, we come back to you on that. Did it and completed partially. Deepa, okay, that's a great beginning. Guys, like we always said that budgeting, it's going to take some time. It's going to take 3 months for you to get around it. The first 30 days, you're just going to be mad at each other. And the next 30 days, you'll probably get better. And by the end of 3 months, you'll be right on top of it. And I mean, I've seen that it's just getting easier and easier. Unexpected expenses derail it. So that's what Deepak is saying. So that's why you will not do your budget. Okay. So there are a lot of these videos that are out there where we've tried to bust all of these myths, and I'll share some links with you. And if you don't still get your answers, we can discuss on the WhatsApp group, guys. Okay. 5 reasons why budgeting is really awesome is that you feel in control. Those of you who started doing budgeting, you will vouch for this. You feel in control of your money. You're standing tall. You know, your backbone is upright. It helps you accomplish your goals. So like I was sharing in the group very happily that I moved from step 3 to step 4 by paying off all my non-mortgage loans. Now we're still putting our 6 months together, but we've been able to do that, accomplishing of that goal because we've been able to keep some kind of budget in order. I'm sure that will be the case for most of you. It makes your fear go away because you know what's coming. You've told your money, process gets easy. There is financial, relational, and emotional impact. I'm not going to repeat the same session, but we spoke about this in detail. There are awesome reasons why budgeting is superb. And if you've not got onto the bandwagon, please do. Fraction of daily expenses. Okay. So there were some tools that we shared. So a quick recap on how to keep a budget. If you still have some doubts, I'm happy to take questions. How to keep a budget is that first thing, remember that you have to work as a team. If you're married or if you're in a relationship, you work on the budget as a team with your partner. That's the first step. If both of you going in opposite directions and the budget does not work. At the beginning of the month, you estimate your income and spend it all on paper. Like how we said, everything happens in the mind once and in manifests itself in reality after that. Now we're saying that in the budget, you estimate all your incomes and then spend all the money on paper first and then spend it in real. Then you start with the most important items, which is saving, giving, secured loan repayments, housing, food, transportation, insurances, unsecured loan repayments, and then comes the others. So you put them in this order. There's a method to how you prioritize your expenses. And we spoke about this in detail in the last session. Remember also that every month is different. So create buffers, have a miscellaneous item, track using online trackers or tools, use cash as much as possible, because you know that pain of cash leaving your hand, it gives you the right feelers for you to be able to stay in budget, and quick comparison, and be very kind to yourself. Right? So these were some tools that we had shared. These are a budget tracker. It's Krishna's tool. It just says Bhuvna Sriram's budget tracker because I'm using it. And then this awesome tracker that me, my husband, and my son are using very effectively to keep track of all our expenses. Do we have any feedback on this tool? Did anybody try it? I've been asking in the group as well. So if you have any feedback, I'm happy to take them. Krishna's there on the call. And have you been able to download it, save it in your Google Sheets, and then get the form out, send the form link to your family, and they can just keep updating it. Just give me a quick feedback whether these tools are something that you tried, did they work for you? So it'll just give us some motivation to say what works, what doesn't, so that we can give the right kind of. Share the link again. Okay, Alok, if you're part of the WhatsApp group, we'll get the link shared one more time. Krishna can share that link one more time, and it'll be available to you on your WhatsApp. You can download it. If you have WhatsApp web on your laptops, you can access it on your Google Sheets. Very easy. Amrita, thank you so much. Krishna's tool is very easy to use and very effective. Yes. Alok, you're part of the WhatsApp group, right? Yeah. Great. Okay. Anybody else who tried it? Got a feedback? So budgeting is the first step. I can customize it after downloading it. I think I was going wrong. Okay. So there was a little video that came along with that tool just to tell you where all you could go wrong with that tool. So if you start deleting lines there, then the tool won't work. So you just have to change some items in it. So the video is a great explainer. So I send it along with the video. So just spend about 10-15 minutes. It's a short video to show how to use that tool. Deepak is not in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So Kajal can send that link in the group, and then you can join that group. Very good digital tool. I started using Spendless, but did not find it effective. Let's start with this. Okay. Deepa, you had troubles with Spendless? Okay. Okay. I didn't try it, so I can't really say. Harsh is the one who knows Spendless very well. So maybe then we can maybe have this conversation on the WhatsApp group, and Harsh can clarify that for us. Yeah. So Deepak, we'll just reach out to you with the WhatsApp, the link to join the WhatsApp. Trevor, this is your first meeting. Okay. So there's probably a little bit to catch up for you. So stay around, and maybe you can catch up all of those videos on the Facebook page. And once our website is up, right there, and then we can get going from there. Yeah. Okay, be ready for today's topic. So glad that we got around with budgeting. Budgeting is the first step, guys. If we get this right, then everything else falls in place. And if you've done any form of budgeting, even a little bit of estimation of your income and expenses in the last 1 month, then this session is going to be very easy for you. I'd recommend that you grab a pen and a paper, because there's going to be a little bit of math that we do. Okay, how many of you are sportsmen? How many of you love sports? Do you all like sports? What is your favorite sport? Just share in the chat box. What is your favorite sport? Personally, I love tennis, cricket. Yep, tennis. Yes, football, tennis, soccer, Bharat, yes. Cricket is the national religion. Volleyball, cricket, running, badminton, amazing. Okay, so why do you think sports is important? Why do you think sport is important? Swimming, great. Why do you think sport is important? What does sporting do to you? The spirit of win and lose. Okay. Sivesh, yes, cricket, volleyball. What does sporting do to you? The spirit of winning. Physical health, yes, physical health. Focus and discipline. Excellent. I'm sure all of y'all keep a person assertive and alert. Yes. Alert at all times. Fun. Yes. Fitness. Sure. Keeps me fresh, active, relaxes my mind. If I lose a game today, there's hope for tomorrow. It says never give up. Never give up. Great. Sport is awesome, right? Persistence, physically fit, mentally focused, inculcates discipline. It's a win or lose acceptance. Absolutely. Okay, so my question here is that who enjoys all this amazing benefits that you're talking about sport? Who enjoys this benefit? Who becomes physically fit? Who becomes mentally focused? The one who plays, right? The sportsman. To the people who just sit around there watching the fun, do they enjoy physical fitness and mental focus? People on the stands, whoever's involved, right? Whoever's involved, yes. Whoever's involved, whoever's involved. Oh, is there an echo? Okay, so whoever is involved, whoever is the sportsman, whoever is playing the sport is the one who benefits the most. So I just want to put this point across to you that we are in it together, guys. So if you involve yourself in whatever happens in the group, whatever happens here in today's session, and put your heart and mind into the work that we will be doing today and during the month, you benefit the most. Okay, so you know, at the end of 6 months, you might see people around you saying, okay, man, I've moved on from step 3 to step 5. I've got my budget in place. I've been able to put away my emergency fund. I paid off my loans. You'll see all of that happening around you. You should see progress, and you will see progress if you personally get involved in whatever it is that we are throwing out here. So we may not have all the answers sorted out, but then if we get there and roll up our sleeves, I think there is hope for us. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that, and do you agree to stay involved? Because we're going to do some activities now. And unless you involve yourself, then this activity will be a flop show. Okay, great, super. Okay, great. So next what we are going to do is we're going on a little breakout. Okay, I'm just going to let you go for 5 minutes, and this is what I want you to do. Just choose one spokesperson for your team. So this is random, so there's no method to it. So if you're in a group with somebody, imagine that, so believe that it's destiny, you're there with them. Okay, so share your name, by what you do and where you're from, and then the biggest money lessons that you had from the last month, and challenges, if you any, that you faced in the last 1 month. So have a very quick conversation about this, and please come back. And this will be not more than 5 minutes. So if 3 of you all have to talk, then just time yourself 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and then just get going. Right? Is that okay? I'm just going to let you go to the breakout rooms, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. Kajal, are they going on breakout?
Yeah, just a minute. I can't see the option, Bhuvna. You'll have to.
Okay. Okay, so I'm putting everybody in 11 rooms. I'm putting them. There are 42 people. So how many rooms should I put them in? In 14 rooms, 3 participants per room. So you're going in randomly. Okay, so you might get a ping on your, yeah. You might get a prompt on your page asking you to join the group. So just go and join the group. Ravindra, Satish, Madhavan, did you get a prompt on your screens to join a room? Vikrant? Ravindra, you didn't get a prompt? Okay, I'm putting you in another room. Vikrant, you haven't got a prompt, is it? Okay. Ravindra, I'm just putting you in another room. Just join there and I'll pull you back here. Vikrant, where did I put you? Vikrant, you must have received. Satish and Priya, you're back here? Did you leave the room by mistake?
No. We had
No.
a nice quick chat, and then we are back.
Okay. I'm closing the rooms. Okay. Good. Did you get around talking a little bit with people who you were paired with?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Just wait for another 30 seconds for the others to join as well. So whoever was the spokesperson in your group, just please keep notes so that you can talk on behalf of the rest of the team for because we have about 14 odd breakout rooms. If you go around with talking to 40 people, just take a long time. So we thought the breakout rooms over. Closing in 2 seconds. Okay, great. Everybody is back. And did you all get around talking to each other?
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Much better.
Yes.
So I'm just going to request you all to keep notes of whatever was your conversation, and we will come around to talking about this along with one more breakout we'll do at the end of the session, and we'll discuss your learnings from then there. Is that okay? Okay, great. Thank you very much for playing this full on your breakout session. Now we're going to do a little bit of exercise. I hope you picked up a little pen and paper. Today's session is going to be on emergency planning and risk management. This is a very, it's a very key part of financial planning. Like what we say is protect or save the bird in the hand before going after the birds in the bush. So you protect what you already have, the assets that you have, which is your own self, your health, your family, the assets that you built already. So how can you go around managing risk? How can you go around building emergency funds? This is like very, very critical and important part of the whole financial planning process. The idea is not to scare you guys. The idea is to wake you up and take stock of situation and be realistic. Okay, so play along with me. Now we can do a little exercise. If you have a pen and paper, I'll take you along with this. We're going to do a little bit of mathematics. Okay, third standard mathematics, nothing much. If you've done your budgeting, it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so just write down here. You don't have to share this with anybody. It's just for your understanding. How much is your total monthly family income? How much is your total monthly family income? You don't have to share it. Please write it down.
So, Bhuvna,
Yes, madam.
I have family income and I have my own individual income also. What should I consider?
Family income, please.
Okay.
Yeah. How much of this do you save, such as bank FD or investment funds? How much of this income do you put away in savings? How much net available cash do you have for expenses? Which will be the difference between A and B. How much net available cash do you have for expenses, or how much do you spend on a monthly basis? If you've done the budgets, if you have like a very close to reality number, but if not, you probably do some kind of a guess, but start somewhere. It's okay even if it's a guess. Okay, now how much is readily available in safe investments meant for emergency purposes? You must have stashed some money away and kept it away, right? So some kind of a bank account or a money market fund or something where you can easily access that money. This is called the emergency money. How much is really available in safe investments for your household, for your family? How much will you have in your savings bank account at the end of this month? So this will typically be A minus B, which is after all your expenses, how much would you have at the end of this month? And some money that's stashed away. Okay, just get these numbers. So how much ready cash will be available for an emergency? In case of an emergency, how much ready cash? The money that you put away already over the years and the money that you will have at the end of this month after your expenses. So just put these two things together. D plus E should give you a number that's called ready cash available for an emergency. How much is ready cash available for emergency? Yeah. Okay. Now, how many months can you survive without any significant change to your lifestyle in case income stops? In case income stops, what is the amount available in emergency fund, which you did F, divided by the monthly expenditure? How many months? In case your income stops, how many months will you be able to maintain your lifestyle without any significant changes? How many months? Available money in emergency divided by monthly expenditure. Should be simply simple mathematics, or you can use the calculator. Get something like a 2 month, 5 month, 6 month, 1 year, 5 year. Okay. So in terms of days, what does that mean? How many days? So the number that you found just now into 30. How many days can you survive without any significant change to your lifestyle in case income stops? This is a chance for you to take stock of your important part of your financial health. This is like checking your BP, checking your blood sugar levels. You're checking how many months can you survive, or how many days can you survive without any significant impact on your lifestyle in case income stops. Okay. You all have a number? Is it okay if I do a poll just to understand this number and what is the financial fitness level of our group here? Can you launch that poll?
Yes, launched.
Okay. Can we see the answers?
Can you see the results, Bhuvna?
I can't really.
Okay, so 54% said 6 months, greater than 6 months.
Okay.
27% have 3 to 6 months, 16% have 30 to 90 days, and less than 30 is 3%.
3%. Okay. Good. That's a fairly fit group here that we have. Okay. Now let's extend this a little more and tell me something else. You don't have to tell me again. Okay. So please take note of this. How many different sources of income do you have? So it might be that you're the only earning member, or your spouse might be earning, or you might have some business income apart from salaries. You might have some rent or some interest income coming from different sources. So how many different sources of income do you have? Just for example's sake, I've included 3 income sources here. So what is the contribution of source 1 to your total family income? So what percentage of the total family income is contributed by person 1, by person 2, or person 3, or source 1, source 2, source 3? So just make that very quick calculation for yourself. So if you're the primary earning member, you say 70% of the family's income comes from my salaries, another 20% comes from spouse salary, another 10% comes from some rental income, something like that. What's the contribution of source 1 to the total family income? Ideally, if you have more than 1 income sources, that's awesome. That's diversification, that's risk management. But if you don't, so be it. Okay? Okay. Now, if S1 stopped, if source 1 stopped for some reason, how many days can you survive without any significant change to your lifestyle? If one of the sources of income stopped. So you have this number of months, minus the contribution made by source 1. So let's say 3 months was your answer, and 1/3 of income into the family is contributed by, let's say, yourself, right? For some reason, if you don't go to work in the next 1 month, the number of months that your family will survive will reduce by 1 month, right? So now NM minus the percentage into the number of months. So just do it for all the 3 sources. It's for you to just get a hang of what's your dependence on a particular income source to maintain lifestyle. If S1 stopped, if S2 stopped, if S3 stopped. Yeah. Okay. We have this image. Just keep these numbers in mind. We'll talk about it in just a little while. I'm going to give you some scenarios that we're going to discuss here, and just be with me here.
I think we just want to do that question again, Purna.
Which one?
The previous
the
one.
previous one.
People,
okay.
Yeah.
You want me to go through this one more time? Okay. Okay, sure.
Could you just give an example? Because
I give you an example. Okay, let's assume that there are 3 sources of income. One is my income, S1. Another is my spouse's income, S2. And let's say S3 is rental income. Okay, my contribution to my family's income is, let's say, 10%. And let's say my spouse's contribution to the family's income is, let's say, 60%. And the rest of it comes from rental income. Okay, so if say if I can survive, if my household can survive 90 days if no income comes in at all, if I alone stop working, the impact will be only 9 days. Okay, the other sources of income continue coming, then the impact of me not working will only be 10%, because my contribution to the family's income is only 10%. So the family will still survive for 81 days. There won't be any problem. Right?
okay, so no money is a scenario where all the sources of income stops, right?
Yes, that was this one that we said, the previous scenario that we spoke about.
Yeah.
Is NM where all your income sources stop. Here we're saying only one source stops. What's the
Okay.
dependence? We're just trying to find out dependency.
Understood.
What is the dependence on one source of income? Is it clear? If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
So in the this Divesh here.
Yes, Divesh.
So I'm just going back to the first part, the slide of ABC. So wherein we when we calculate the number of months, we are actually dividing F by C. That is ready cash available for emergency, total cash available, which is a summation of the emergency fund what you already have right now and how much you will have in the bank balance, right?
Correct.
By the same time, we are dividing that amount by the net cash available by the month end.
Yes. No,
Right.
no, you're dividing it by monthly expenditure.
Monthly expenditure. So basically, when we say monthly expenditure, the monthly expenditure in C was arrived by total family income minus savings, right?
Yes, total family income minus savings. Yes.
Right. But here, that is also a possibility that not completely this amount would be available for expenses only when you're following a zero budget. Otherwise, this may not be completely on that line, right? That is where I was assuming on that one.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, because we follow zero budgeting here. So,
Okay. No, the only other thing was that if part of my monthly savings also, so I have not counted the saving area for which I'm contributing towards monthly emergency. So for emergency fund, I may be also contributing on a monthly basis, which is not getting captured. It is by default getting into accounting for expenses, which may not be right, right?
say that again, please.
So by default, I may be contributing some amount every month towards the emergency build-up. Towards the emergency build-up, but which is not part of my savings part. So then it by default is getting captured here. If we actually go by this format, it is by default getting captured in my expenses area, which is not right, right?
Yeah, so here we're talking about if you have committed to some long-term savings and you can't really stop saving that, then it's considered as part of monthly expenditure. But when it comes to emergency fund and you can stop your savings, then you want to reduce the monthly expenditure to the extent of the savings that you do. That's fine too.
Okay, so by default in this structure, by default, even if we are saving an amount towards emergency and not actual savings, then we should not consider it as part of the expense, but as a part of savings itself. So then it will give the right picture.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions on this? Do we have this understanding of dependencies? Yeah. Okay. So if we have, then we move on. So is there something on the chat? Let me just check the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Understand dependencies. Now, I'm going to give you some scenarios and tell me what of these scenarios are true to you. Okay, we're not talking about what you would like it to be. We're talking about which of these scenarios are real to you. Okay, what would happen if your supervisor came to you today and said the company is downsizing and you're being offered early retirement, and if you don't take early retirement, you're likely to be let go. Okay. Now, which of these scenarios are true? I take early retirement and start doing what I've always wanted to do with my creative energy and time. Is this true? I panic. I need full-time employment to pay for things that I have purchased over time. Retirement pay just wouldn't be enough. I'd beg and plead to keep my job because without it, I'd have serious money problems. It wouldn't matter how much severance they gave me. I will need to find another job within a couple of months, or I'd have to move from my current residence. Which of these situations are true in your case? Which of these situations are the reality? We all know what we'd like, but what is it today? You'd like A, I know, but what is it today? Okay. Second situation. What would happen if a physician told you today that you need to have a serious surgery done that would require 2 months of recuperation with no work and another month or two of only part-time work before you can resume full activity? Which of these situations are true in your case? I'd lose my job if I had to be away for that long. I'd like to keep my job but would be forced to take some unpaid leave. I'd keep my job and would be paid for all the time I was away. I'd refuse the operation because I know I wouldn't get another job quickly enough to make ends meet. I'd quit my job and get well and then regroup and decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. And along the way, I would not have any money worries. Which of these situations is true in your case at this point in time? We all know what we like, what we would like, but which of these situations are true in your case? Okay. Next situation is, what would happen if your spouse was in a serious accident today and lost his or her job as a result of a long-term recovery or permanent disability? What would happen if you have a partner whose contribution into the family income is significant, and if he or she was in a serious accident and lost his or her job, what would the situation be? Everything in our lives would be turned upside down, not just our daily routine, but our finances. We'd be forced to move from our present home. We'd have serious trouble paying more than 1 month's utility and other bills. We'd have to borrow money if we wanted to maintain our present style. We'd focus all our energies on my spouse's recovery without money worries. Which of the situation is true in your case at this point in time? You don't really have to answer, guys, just for you to understand. One last situation, this is like real. Most of us feel this as we grow older. What would happen if an elderly parent had to move in with you because they have nowhere else to go, which would require you to quit your job and rely solely on your spouse's full-time job? What would happen? We'll have to stop all luxuries in our life. We wouldn't be able to continue to pay for most expenses we take for granted. We'd probably have to trade in my luxury car for a lesser vehicle. We'd have to rethink just about everything in our budget. We'd make it fine. I'd enjoy this opportunity to spend time with my parent. Which of these situations is true in your current situation? Which of these situations are true? Okay. Okay, now is what I want to hear from you. Share in your chat box a phrase or word that reflects how you feel right now. Just share how you feel right now. It's okay. Let's just understand where we are and then we can move from there. A phrase or word that reflects how you feel right now. Slightly worried, yeah. Yeah. Okay. The idea is to get you thinking, guys. So, okay, however you're feeling, real-time situation, it worked out in your case, okay? It inspired me to do more, okay? More thoughtful, privileged, and blessed, grateful. That's amazing. Okay. So now, the idea, of course, like I told you to start with, is not to scare you or to put you into a spot. It's to wake you up and tell you, face the reality, because we know we are in this together. We are out here to do, a long journey. And 10 crore, if I have to, make an analogy and say, okay, this is like climbing the Mount Everest, then it's important that we, before we end, get onto that trip, that we clear the hurdles in our way. We want to get there, invest, create money, I know the conversations in the group are all about investing and this option and that option. We are itching to get there to talk about investments. We will get there, guys. But the point is that if it's going to be a long journey, we have to first clear the hurdle so that we can sprint faster, we can move faster. Otherwise, we'll just trip and keep falling. That's something that we don't want to do, and that's precisely why we're spending a lot of time on understanding how to manage risks. Okay, so one important tool that we all know of in risk management is insurances. So if it's okay with you, I'll share some very okay, don't worry, Deepa. It's not the end of it all. We have solutions here. We can manage most of these risks, and it's not. We just need to understand what risk management solutions are available. So is it okay we move on and talk about some basic insurances that most of us will need in our lives? Some basic insurances, and if there are questions, I'm happy to answer them. But this is a knowledge that we all really need. Okay, so let me just go on with understanding some very basic insurances. Term life insurance. Do you all have term life insurance? Term life insurance is useful when untimely loss of life happens due to any reason. It can be any reason. The earning members and homemakers need life insurance. Coverage needs to be at least 10 to 12 times annual income, and this needs change as the life stages move, because early on in your life you may not need that much insurance, but when liabilities increase, when children come, when dependents increase, your life insurance needs will increase. But as you as your as you get closer to retirement, your need for life insurance will reduce. You pick for a maximum possible period of 30 to 40 years, and it can be discontinued later. Pure term plans are the cheapest. Term life insurance. So Krishna, you're asking a question. Term life insurance are simple life insurance policies. So what is an insurance? An insurance is just a protection against a risk. We know that we've just gone through that activity to understand what risks we are facing in our life. And one big risk is loss of life. Ahead of time, when you're earning or a key earning member in the family loses life, the family is rendered in a lot of financial trouble. To protect the family from these financial troubles, you take something called a term life insurance, and this comes in very handy when untimely loss of life happens. Okay. The term life insurance provides only protection. There is no investment angle to it. It's like taking insurance for your car. Okay, you drive. The deal is very simply, you have a car insurance, you drive your car around. If there is an accident for the car, the insurance company pays you some amount to make your car all right. If there's no accident, the insurance company takes the premium and goes home. It's their profit. Okay, so you pay it as an expenditure. Just because you paid the premium, you don't expect to meet with an accident in your car. So just like that, a term insurance is an expenditure. You just pay the premium and hope nothing happens. Let the insurance company make profits out of it. You don't want that money. Do not expect to get anything out of it, but take your insurances. Is this clear? Praneet says, I have insurance policy, but not a term insurance. Why is a term insurance important, not any other insurance? Because you will need 10 to 12 times your annual income. So Praneet, you can just go back and see how much is the life insurance cover that you have. If it's not 10 to 12 times, you need to take another policy. Now, for most people, buying 10 to 12 times your annual income in an endowment policy will be very, very expensive. A term policy will be much cheaper. So if you're age 35 and you need a 10 crore sum insured, the premium will be about 15 to 20,000. Okay, if you're paying anything more than that for a 1 crore insurance, you know that it's not a term life policy. Yeah, about 15 to 20,000 rupees per year for an age of 35. Yes. So that's how less term insurances cost. We're talking about 1,800 to 2,000 rupees a month to protect your family. Okay. If there are any questions here, happy to answer them. This is something that we all need, mandatory term life insurance. If you're earning, both earning member and homemakers need life insurance. Children don't need life insurance. Senior citizens who've retired, they may not need life insurance, but all earning members during your earning term period, you will need life insurance.
Is there a definition of this term, or does it mean life?
Term, it means time. So yeah, it just means time. So that life insurance policy is valid for a certain period of time, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? So at the end of 30 years, the policy is over.
Okay.
That's what a term life means. Term just means time. Take it for as long as possible. Take it for a 20 or how much ever long you can get, depends on your age. For age 60, you may not need. So that's why you should understand what your coverage is. The life insurance needs change as your life stages change. So it's a great idea to understand how much life insurance need. I've given you here a 10 to 12 times annual income at the peak of your earning life. Somewhere in your, no, I'm not saying peak of your earning life, somewhere in your 30s, 35s, 40s, when you have dependents, when you have liabilities, usually that's the cover. But your specific life insurance need will change as per your life stages change. So you might want to, I'll give you a quick calculator to calculate how much life insurance you might need, and you could buy that. Are we good with this? Can we have a quick quiz to understand our understanding? To understand our understanding. Can you put that poll out, Kajal?
Yes, I did. It's on the screen right now.
I see the poll.
Oh, you do. You don't see the reports, is that so? You don't see the results. Yeah, okay.
Okay, we have the answers. Life insurance is a replacement of your income. There is no need for it if you do not have.
24% answered no.
Yeah. So there are some point of views coming here, which is very, very valid. If you do not have dependents, then you may not need life insurance. If you have enough money to support your dependents also, you may not need life insurance. Right? If you're financially free, you have enough money coming in, passive income, family can be taken care of, children can be taken care of, you have that 10 crore in wealth, you can dump your life insurance policy. So that's precisely why you said you can discontinue it later. You can discontinue your life insurance policy when you've reached financial, when you're dependent, you don't have dependents anymore, or you don't need money to support. So loss of life is not going to impact people financially, then you may not need it. But this is just an indication for most of us to understand 10 to 12 times at least. If you have. Oliver, it's a very valid point. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so quiz, answers. Did we get the answers?
Yes, 74% said no.
What was the question?
This was term insurance. Do you need life insurance cover after your retirement?
74% said no, the others said yes. Okay. Good. So interesting to know. Some people think you need life insurance after term life insurance. You might need a whole life policy or something. But a term insurance is typically an income replacement. So if you don't have income, you don't need term insurance. Okay. Another very important insurance that most of us need is health insurance. So health insurance, how many of you have health insurance from your company apart from what your company offers? So it's very important for us to understand. It's very useful when illness or accident requires hospitalization. Reimburses the costs incurred. It only reimburses the costs incurred. And it's very useful when hospitalization is required in case of an illness or an accident. So these are things that come in the way of your wealth creation process. Okay, so if you build some wealth and then you go to the hospital, you take that wealth and you give it to the doctor, then your wealth creation process gets impacted. So this is the hurdle that we are removing. Get higher coverage through a base plus super top-up policies. These are some things I'm just throwing these jargons to you so you can write them down and speak to your insurance advisor about it, understand what a term insurance or Google about it, understand what a base policy is and the super top-up policies are. All members, dependents, including children and parents need health insurance. So in life insurance, we spoke about key earning members needing life insurance. Children don't need life insurance. Senior citizens don't need life insurance. But for health insurance, everybody needs health insurance, as much as you can. It's possible that you may not get health insurance for parents, but that's another problem that you find out how to cover their insurance needs. But everybody needs health insurance. Health cover for a family of 4 might cost something like this. Premium will be approximately about 30,000 rupees. If you're age 35, you're a non-smoker and you have no pre-existing illnesses, a base individual policy of about 5 lakhs and a top-up floater policy of about 15 lakhs for the whole family will cost anywhere between 30,000 to 35,000. if one have these two. Sorry, Vikrant, I didn't understand your question. Is it enough if you have these two? Is that your question? Vikrant, you can unmute and ask your question if you have anything, or you can chat, no problem. Whatever works for you. But this is an important
Yeah,
point.
hi. Sorry. I think it just went through half baked.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask that if one has it through the employer, both of these two, is it suggested to have it personally as well?
Yes. Please have a separate policy as well. Don't only depend on the employer's policy, because employers usually give group policies. Okay, so in a group policy, there are a few situations that might happen. One is the group can choose to withdraw the benefit. Okay, they can say, okay, I'm not giving this anymore because my expenses are too much and I can't handle it. We've had that happen in our lives. They said, okay, parents are covered in the policy. From next year onwards, parents will not be covered. Okay, so those things, the group decides the dynamics of that policy. It's not in your hands, and the insurance might just go. Number two, you can choose to withdraw yourself from the group. You can choose to quit. You can choose to do something on your own. Your new employers may or may not give you insurance cover, or if you're going to be your own employer, then you'll have to fend for this yourself. Number three is you can be asked to go, so the group can remove you. So these three things can happen. The benefit can go, you can remove yourself from your group, or the group can remove you. Right. So to avoid the situation, as you grow older, getting insurance, forget the cost of insurance. The cost of insurance will go up as you grow older, but getting insurance will get difficult because you might contract some pre-existing illnesses, or just getting an insurance might be difficult. So it's a great idea to put it in your budget, have health insurance for yourself and your family, apart from what the employer gives. Okay, so the base policy of
Poona,
7
if I may just add one more thing. There is also a very huge probability in times of transition. So when you left one job and you are before joining the second job,
correct,
even though it may have, that is also a very critical period. If you get any hospitalization or something like that, then that is actually could completely ruin your savings.
Thank you. Yes, Divesh, I think that makes a lot of sense. Of course, employers will cover you till the last day of your employment. But the new employer, if you have a gap period, you're taking some time off, you're just taking 1 month off to go on a holiday and then join your new employers, those things, transition period, I think that's very, very pertinent. Thank you so much for sharing, Divesh. Have your own policy. That's the point. Praneeth is saying we have a coverage of 7 lakhs from the corporate, and then we have taken a top-up insurance of 10 lakhs with a small premium. That's not enough, Praneeth. It depends on 10 lakh top up. What is the base? What is the deductible on that policy? If the deductible is 7 lakhs, then that's not enough. If it's a low deductible, let's say it's a 1 lakh or 2 lakh deductible on the policy, then it means that you are self-insuring yourself for 1 or 2 lakhs, and then the insurance companies covers up to 10 lakhs. Again, I'm throwing these words out to you. You might want to write it down. We can discuss this. Talk to your insurance advisor about it. He might be able to clarify this. But a base policy and a top-up policy outside of your employment is still mandatory. Okay. Look out for sublimits, waiting period, pre-existing coverage, deductibles, and copay. So these are a few jargons also. What are sublimits? What is the waiting period? What is pre-existing coverage? The waiting period, usually you may not be able to claim for the first 30 days on certain things, right? The first 90 days on certain things, or the first 4 years on certain things. So if you have a pre-existing illness, right? So for example, I have blood pressure, then for the first 4 years, I will not get any kind of coverage for anything related to blood pressure. So these are important things for us to understand. Have health insurance, and then you can just imagine how easy that would be. Thank you. Okay. So disability insurance, useful when earning member is disabled temporarily or permanently due to illness or accident. So this is another big danger, permanent or temporary disablement. It pays off a fixed sum of money. It's a sum insured to the loss of income. It covers loss of income and medical costs till recovery happens. And coverage needed is at least one-time annual income. For somebody who's 35 years old with no pre-existing illnesses, a sum insured of 25 lakhs, the premium is anywhere between 15 to 20,000 rupees. Look out for policies that have a wide coverage and understand the exclusion. So there are very specific policies that say cancer care only, right? So it's better to take an insurance for critical illness that has a much wider coverage, because you don't know what's going to happen. So you're covered for cancer, and then if it's not cancer and something else that just costs as much or leaves somebody jobless, then you don't want to be excluded having paid the premium. So policies that have a very wide coverage and understand exclusions so that we know what you're covered for and what you're not covered for. It's useful when earning member is disabled. Is this clear? Any questions on this? Disability insurance. So there are two types.
Bhuvna, I have a question here.
Yes, Tanvi.
So sometimes the term plan, it comes with an additional benefit if you can pay for that rider. That's the disability.
Yeah.
So is it good enough just to take that rider, or should somebody go for a special disability insurance?
Okay. So disability insurance are primarily of two types. One is a critical illness and the other one is the accident. So disability due to critical illness or disability due to accident, right? So they both of them come as riders. You might want to just discuss this with your insurance agent about it. There are advantages on taking standalone policies. There are some advantages of taking them as riders. As riders, you enjoy the benefit of a consistent premium throughout the period of the policy. But as an individual standalone policy, your your premiums might get rated up. So it's a good idea that you're asking this question. Just check with your insurance agent on whether you should take a standalone policy. A standalone policy is preferred over a rider because a rider is contingent to the base policy. If the base policy, so for example, let's say you have a term insurance and then the term gets over in 15 years, right? The critical illness rider also will go away. But you may need critical illness for another 30 years because when you grow old, critical illness is high, but you don't need a term insurance. Right? So it's a great idea to have a standalone policy. So there are advantages and there are disadvantages. Just discuss with your insurance. A standalone policy is a much better idea. Yes. A personal accident insurance also, Alok says that the disability due to an accident, a temporary disability or a permanent disability due to accident are real. Yeah, great. Property insurance, useful in case of fire, earthquake, riot, burglary, explosion, lightning, structure of the building, and it covers the structure of the building and the contents inside the house. The largest item on most people's balance sheet is the house. You would agree, right? And so if you can cover your policy, these are very, very cheap policies. A 40 lakh reinstatement cover for a structure and 7 lakhs cover for whatever inside the house costs only 3,000 rupees. And you look out for add-ons like alternate accommodation up to 12 months. So these are things that you might want to discuss with your insurance agent, whether you can get your property insured. This is one of my largest items on my balance sheet. We've had instances of these things happening. In 2015, there were floods in Chennai. One of our cars got washed off. Then there are, we've had fire breaking out in our property. I mean, in a 31st floor in our building. So these things happen. So it's a great idea to get your property insured. Can we have the quiz? I think we missed a couple of quiz. Kajal, can you put out the quiz?
I put out the health insurance quiz.
Okay.
Can everybody see it? Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Can we have the answer? We'll have to read out the
Wait, let people are still responding. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, so health insurance, if you have a health insurance cover of 5 lakhs and you have incurring expenses of 3 lakhs in the hospital, how much claim are you likely to get? 65% people said most likely less than 3 lakhs. And 31 mostly said 3 lakhs.
So you most likely get less than 3 lakhs because there'll be some kind of a copay. Some expenses will be excluded. So, they don't cover. For example, in COVID, one of the biggest items in many people's list was the PPE, the suits that they have to wear, right? So that is not covered because they're called as consumables and it's not covered in an insurance policy. So usually it'd be less than what you've spent. Yeah, correct. Okay.
Okay,
And
next one on disability insurance. Can disability insurance be taken for children and senior citizens?
Yep.
Okay, we're getting responses now. Fourteen, 61%, 14 people said yes, and balance said no. So 61% majority said yes, we can.
you can get, or should you get?
You can, yeah, so it can be taken for children and seniors. Or should you get it?
So yes, so let me correct this understanding. The disability insurance is an income replacement policy. It is to replace income. So if there's no income, there's no insurance. Okay, so children, you will not be able to establish that there is a source of income. So if something were to happen to them, what is the financial loss for the family? Right, so you will not get insurance for children or for people who are not able to establish income sources. So it's just for your understanding. So somebody, you will have to establish salary slip or ITR to get disability insurance. Yeah.
Here, Bhuna, can I add something?
Yes, please. Deepa is an insurance expert. Yes, happy to hear from you, Deepa. Yes.
As in your slide, disability insurance was the accidental disability, as well as it was talking about the critical illness. You highlighted both things in one slide, right? So critical illness, critical illness insurance we can take for senior citizen as well as children also. But only about the accidental disability insurance, that is for a earning member, because there is a difference in term insurance. We have to submit the income documents before taking the plan. And in disability insurance, we have to give income proof at the time of claim. So depending on your income, the disability benefit is given to the person.
Okay.
So whatever the losses you have suffered, those losses are covered up to the sum insured. And due to that, the disability insurance is only given to an earning member.
Yes, the disability. So that's a very valid point, Deepa. You may get the insurance, but you may not get the claim. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you cannot establish income sources, you may get the insurance, but you may not get the claim. Right?
So critical illness you can give to your kids as well as parents, but the accidental disability is only for earning members. That is what I wanted to add.
Great. Okay. Deepa is an insurance expert. I take her word on that. And thank you so much for sharing, Deepa. Yeah. Property.
Yes. So property insurance, do you need to take insurance for the house if you are staying on rent in it?
That was just some random question. Okay. Answer?
87% people said no, you don't need to.
Yeah, just insure whatever's inside. If you have some really fancy things inside, you might want to insure things. Contents, yeah, only for the contents of the house, but not the structure of the house. So you can just take property content insurance. Yes, Neelam says is right. Only for whatever is inside the house, for the jewelry or for the electronics or for some art or whatever you have in your house, then you can take insurance for it, not for the structure. Correct? This is another new insurance that Deepa was sharing with me on identity theft. Now, this has become a really big thing. So you guys might want to just find out more about this on identity theft. So these days, people, I had one of our clients saying that his PAN card or his PAN number was taken by somebody, and he borrowed against his PAN and not repaid the money, and his credit scores were deeply impacted. And that fellow borrowed and bought a BMW while this person still drives an i20. So those things are happening. People are taking money out of ATMs. They spamming, sending spam emails. So there's a movie also about it, right? So there's a lot of this thing happening. Identity theft insurance. So you can take insurances for that as well. I'm sure your insurance agent will be able to give you more information. Okay, this is just to give you some insights on possible things that can come in your way of creating wealth. This clear? So we spoke about term life insurance. We spoke about health insurance. We spoke about critical illness insurance and accidental disability insurance. We spoke about property insurance, and we spoke about identity theft insurance. These are things that I'm leaving you guys with as opportunities that you can use, or tools that you can use to protect what you already have. Krishna is asking, can I take insurance on a home which is in mine? You can take insurance only for the contents inside the house, Krishna. You have no insurable interest on the house that you don't own. Unemployment insurance there as well for any rainy day. No, Vikrant. For unemployment, you'll have to create an emergency fund. I don't think there's any unemployment insurance, at least in India. I don't know. I mean, if you're in Philippines or wherever, are there unemployment insurance, Deepa?
There are some plans in personal accident cover. They cover a few months of unemployment. Loss of job is an additional feature which we can add up with by paying some extra premium, which is a little bit of a premium, and then we can have that feature. And a few months, 6 months, 3 months cover we can give for that.
Interesting. Okay, but then the reason for unemployment should be the accident.
Loss of job is the main thing. If some person loses the job and he has covered those things.
Yeah, but loss of job should have been because of insurance. If they lose the job because of underperformance, that possible?
No, definitely not. Yeah, sure.
The accident, if it comes as a rider with an accident insurance policy, I'm presuming that it will be accident ho gaya, so job loss ho gaya, then you can get some insurance.
That is covered. Correct.
So Vikrant, if that answers your question. Sriram says there is an insurance cover for unemployed limited to repayment of loans. The cover is for repayment of EMIs to the tune of period of unemployment. Oh, is that true? Okay, can you give me some more information about this? Unmute yourself and speak, please.
Yeah, so basically this only covers the repayment of EMIs. So this is a product which most of the lenders have tie-up with insurance companies. So in case you have a loan and you want to have a cover, in case you're salaried, then you can pay a small premium because we are typically, because it covers a large segment of the lenders' borrowers.
Okay.
So it's kind of attractively priced, and it covers only for retrenchment or termination of employment. I don't
only for retrenchment, is it?
Yeah, it predominantly covers retrenchment. So there are clauses which covers it, but you have to get in touch with your lender, and we may. I don't think. Typically borrowers go and buy it directly.
Okay. So it's something that the lender takes for you, to protect their own.
The premium is paid by the borrower.
The premium is of course paid by the borrower, so there are no free lunches. But then it's like the mortgage redemption policy that in case of the lenders were taking on the life of the borrower, but now they're taking it on the employment of the borrower also. Right? Okay, interesting. Okay, that's great learning. Sriram, of course, is a loans and recoveries expert, so he'd know these things very well. Okay, great. So any questions on this, guys? On insurances, so this is a great way of, if you've been worried about the first part of the session, then these are tools that you can use to clear the hurdle so that then we can start sprinting to our 10 crore goal. Okay, now I want you to take a second and just imagine, how would it feel if you had no loans and you have all your insurances in place and you have 6 months worth of expenses stashed away somewhere? Really, take a second to imagine how would it feel if you had that kind of money stashed away. Would you breathe easy? Would you just, you can just imagine that relief in you if you had that kind of money. Have you ever been out in the rain? It's going to rain and then take the umbrella, right? A normal event now has become an emergency. Right, a normal event has now become an emergency. Praneeth says, just found that Policy Bazaar has an employment insurance. I haven't gone through it, but it's there. Okay, great. Praneeth, would you like to share that in the group? We can have a discussion with that. That'd be great. Yeah, share it in the WhatsApp group so we can at peace read through and then. Thank you. Yeah, great. Guys, this is amazing. If you find anything of use to the rest of us, please share it in the group. Yeah. So emergency funds are a very, very useful, critical step in the whole process. So putting 6 months money away. Yeah. Yes, Dinesh. So it turns what would have been a minor event into, a major emergency into a small inconvenience. It's fully capable. If you have that kind of money stashed away, you can turn what would be a major emergency into a little inconvenience. Okay, the car is broken down, or the house needs some kind of a fixing. What could have become a major emergency now is a small little tiny inconvenience. Okay, if you carried that umbrella and gone, the rain is an event, it's just a little inconvenience, it's not an emergency, right? So if you can put that money away for emergency, that'd be the first step. 6 months, 6 times monthly living expenses. This is precisely why it is there before investments in our 9 steps. So if you remember the 9 steps, the first one we're saying put 1 lakh away, then we're looking at paying off all the non-mortgage loans, and then we're talking about putting away 6 times monthly living expenses. So 6 times, if my monthly living expenses are 2 lakh rupees, including all EMIs and loans and all that, if I've paid off my loans, then I'm just putting away my mortgage loans, then I'm putting away 12 lakh rupees in savings for my living expenses. Right? When can you use this emergency funds? Ask yourself these questions. Is it unexpected? If it was something that you expected to happen, you save up for it. If it is unexpected, you can use the emergency fund. Is it necessary to fix this? If it's not necessary, you can skip. Or is it urgent? Then if you have an answer, yes, yes, yes for this, then you use up the emergency funds, and then the next few months you're topping up the emergency funds, and at all point in time you're ensuring you have this 6-month kind of money put away. This is removing one big hurdle in your journey to 10 crores. Where can you keep this money? You can keep it in bank deposits, and you can keep it in money market mutual funds. If there are any other ideas, I'm happy to hear them. These are 2 things that I could think of where to keep your emergency funds. Okay, so
Bhuvna, can I add a point here?
Yes, Neelam, yes.
Usually when people plan for emergency funds, they only plan for the EMIs and the household expenses. SIP is one thing that people immediately cancel when they face lack of savings or lack of money to meet their expenses. So I would recommend people to also consider SIPs as a part of emergency funds, so that your savings are also happening while you're sailing through the journey of life.
Okay, so that's an interesting point that you're making. So if it's an emergency and I do a lack of SIP, then my need for emergency will go up to that extent,
Correct.
right? And when I'm keeping money away for emergency, I would keep them in very safe places.
Correct. There are also mutual funds available in the market, you would be very much aware of, which are used for storing the emergency funds. I would just give an example. We have active account with Aditya Birla Sun Life mutual fund available, where up to 50,000 rupees can be withdrawn within a minute without any hassle. If you have made savings.
Money market funds?
Yeah, money market funds. So just as an example, that you can store the money in these kind of funds, where in case of an emergency you can withdraw at least up to 50,000 rupees out of your savings within a minute.
Okay, so you're saying there are mutual fund investments that you can just go out and withdraw as if you're withdrawing from a savings bank account.
Absolutely correct.
Okay, good, great. Okay, that's an interesting data point. Thank you very much for sharing. So she's right in saying include your living expenses, include your EMIs. Don't forget to include your insurance premiums, guys. So we're going to talk about that in just a little while. I have a little video. Okay, so do not delay purchase of insurance. Buy life and health insurance when you're young. You need your own insurance apart from what is provided by your employers. Consider insurance as an expense and not as an investment. Take expert help and review insurance needs periodically. Okay, so these sessions are not meant to replace your advisor, guys. It's for you to reach out to advisors, have sensible conversations with them, ask the right questions, get the right answers, and make very thought-through decisions, right? Okay, after non-mortgage loans are fully paid off, build a 6-month emergency fund. I would share a very interesting video. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine who's also an insurance expert. So if you can see this. Hi, Manishji, and thanks so much for talking to us. You've had so many years of experience in life insurance and general insurance, and more than 5,000 claims, right?
Right. More than 5,000.
So amazing. So can you highlight some cases where people who fail to take insurance, what kind of mistakes do they make? How does it impact them? Can you share something?
Actually, in my experience, we are in this field since last, I think, 50 years now. It's almost 50 years. I'm still not 50, but I'm a second generation. In this entire experience, there are so many stories that, we have come across, and we have settled so many claims. But one incident I would like to share that, 15 years ago. That's I know because there is a peculiar situation. One of my customer was in a bad shape financially, and he stopped all his policies. And unfortunately, he died next year. Now, financially, they are very, very bad, and there is no insurance. Fortunately or unfortunately, that time he paid 2,000 rupees for his personal accident.
Okay.
Just 2 days before he died. The policy was supposed to expire, and 2 days before, he expired with accident. And in this, we were happy. Okay, all the policies are gone, but this policy we can give, at least something to the family. That was nearly 25 or 30 lakh rupees odd personal accident.
But did he die by an accident?
Yeah, he died. And we were happy. Okay, chalo, kuch na kuch to family ko denge. So we lodged a complaint to insurance company. The surveyor came, and what he said, he was in debt, and it is a suicide case. It is not accident case.
Okay.
And now we were, this also, will go in vain. It will not come to the family. Then we spoke to the surveyor. We spoke to insurance company. What they said that, there is a suicide case, and we have a proof on that. So he died with a train accident. So we went through entire documents. Okay, we recorded the statement of motorman. That time motorman used to give the statement for the accident. We took that statement and we proved that it was an accident. It was not at all suicide. After that, we give them 25 lakh rupees. We settled the claim of 25 lakh rupees. And that time, 15 years ago, 25 lakhs was a big amount.
Amazing.
And the family was, so happy on that. Now that boy, that time he was only 8 years old guy, and now he's settled in US just because of this. So I mean to say, insurance is a tool. People don't look at people don't like to pay. One is a tax, and the second is insurance. They put insurance as a last priority. What I suggest to everyone is, people, whenever you are in a financial trouble, put insurance on the priority list.
Correct.
So that if at all things goes bad, then you are not in a wrong situation. Because it will create a worse situation for you if you are not insured.
Okay.
So that is one story. Life insurance. Okay. We have in our lifetime we have never seen many deaths, right? But in COVID situation, we have seen so many deaths around us.
Yeah.
The recent success story, or recent story, if I would like to tell you is that 38 years old guy, 2 years before, he took 2 crores of insurance. And within 3 years and 5 years, the wife was not so educated, and she was from some village, and she doesn't know what to do. And this 2 crore rupees is a lifetime saving for her, for our kids. And so there are so many success stories for that. I give you one more example. One of my customer paid Mediclaim premium for 10 years. It was 10 years continuously he's paying. And one day he came to me that I don't want to pay Mediclaim just because, I don't think mereko kuch hoga. I'm hale and hearty and I don't want to pay. I'm just a waste of money. I don't want to pay. I tried to convince him, but he said no. Okay, fine. After 6 months, got bypassed. 8 lakh rupees of kharcha, and the entire family was in the bank. So these are the stories. What I suggest to people: don't buy insurance with fear. Buy insurance with the risk management. You take it as a risk management. Because one of the essential, you like it or you don't like it. Okay, that's a different story. It's a very essential tool in financial sector. I think people should buy. These are the stories, and I can endlessly tell you so many stories about insurance and how insurance helps.
Yeah.
People always talk about insurance company claim to settle नहीं करता है और क्यों insurance premium भरेगा देखेंगे क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है, but 95% of the claim is settled. 5% sometimes goes wrong way. But with that insurance, it's a hope for a family. It's not for you. whenever you are buying insurance, it's not for you. Just think about it. It's not for you. It is for your family and for your financial security.
Great.
This is what I would like to tell your audience.
Thank you, Manishji. I think this was brilliant, and I really appreciate you taking your time off. I'll try and share the books that you've written to our audience. I give a link. I'll share the link for download of that book.
Please, this is also a book I have written to just to help people on health insurance. There's a know your health insurance. You can know each and everything about the health insurance before you go for shopping or for health insurance. But people should know. Actually, half of the things, people doesn't know. And that is where the problem starts.
Yes. Yes.
Read that book. I'll send you the link. Please give it to your audience. It's a free book. You can always take it from my website, www.manishmusa.com.
Yes. Thank you, Manishji. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Bruna. Thank you for having me here.
Okay. So that was Manish Busa, one of my friends, who's an insurance expert, and he's sharing some stories. I hope that would have made a lot of sense to you in terms of putting insurance right on top of the priority list. Okay. So should I let you go into the broadcast? Hello, you guys there? Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes, yes.
That was just quick sharing. So I'd like to all of you all to just go back into the rooms that we put you on earlier and quickly share key learnings. And I'd just like to talk to a few of you all, if that's okay. There's no facility for me to add the breakout rooms. Kajal, can you see them?
Wait, I'll check. No, I can't. You're the host, so I can't, Bhuvna.
Okay, so let it be. So a couple of things that I wanted to just hear from all of you is, sorry, that's me, that looks ugly. That's just me with big ears. I'm keen to listen, and I want to hear from all of you one thing on, share your key learnings and one action point from this month. This pretty much brings us to the end of whatever I wanted to share in this session, but what I want to do is listen to what you have to share. So if you can put your hands up, then, and tell me you'd like to share something, unmute yourself. One key learning from the day and one critical action that you will take. If budgeting is still pending, you'll have to, of course, take that action and keep that going. But on risk management and emergency planning and insurances, give me one key learning that you had and one action point. If you can just share it with everybody. Unmute yourself and please go. You want to put your hand?
Hi, this is sorry. Okay, the key learning I had today is the difference between life insurance and term insurance. Okay. I only realized that life insurance covers very little amount of what I actually wanted, and term insurance is what actually makes a difference in case of anything bad. I think I'm going to subscribe to some a plan in soon. Thanks.
Great, superb. Okay, so any key other learnings and action points? So please do share your key learnings and one action point. Shubdeep, yes, the link, the book can be downloaded from here. Sorry. Yeah. Key learnings, please, you can put your hands up. Yeah. Or you want to put it on the chat box, that's fine too. Please share one key learning and one action point.
Bhuvna, one of the key learnings I had today is the activity that you did, quite an eye-opener. Okay. Quite alarming to see that I would just survive 1.5 months with what I'm having right now. So I think I have to focus on my emergency fund, and that's my target.
Yes.
I'll have to really work towards that. Okay. So that was a good eye-opener. Very, very good activity. Very, it was very, it kind of gave us a hit on the head, like it was spot on. Yeah, it's really useful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Yes, thank you very much for sharing. Any other thoughts, key learnings, and one action point? Now it's time for making some commitments, people, so we can hold each other accountable. You remember, I have all the chats from the previous session as well. I have the recordings also. So yes, what is one action point that you have that you take away from today's session that you will implement in the next 1 month?
So one of the action item I understand is whether we are going to become rich or not. It is very essential not to become poor.
Yes.
And to safeguard us against the poorness, insurance is the way.
Yes, you're right.
So
yeah,
once we are not becoming poor, then it is slowly we will be, whether slowly or fastly, it is up to individual. But
yes,
at least we will not become poor.
Yes, at least you will not slip down. You will.
Yes, in the ladder, we will not slip down.
Yes, absolutely. Great learning. One action point, please. Please commit to one action point. Just put it on the chat, all of you. I'd like to hear. You've spent, guys, 1.5 hours, 2 hours on this. If you have to, I mean, I'm hoping you're taking something away, but please commit to one actionable. It can simply be that I'm going to call my insurance agent and talk to them, or I'm going to take out my insurance policies and review what I have. Or it can just be that, I'm going to do some online searching of various insurance policies available. So give me one action point that you are committing to so I can keep track.
I'll take individual health insurance policies other than whatever corporate is providing.
Yes.
That is the action item.
Great. Okay, great. I'm seeing these come on chat as well. Review of insurance policies as a family. That's great. Insurance needs need review on an annual basis. Yes. Action to buy home insurance. Yes, Vijay. Okay. Action point is budgeting and emergency fund. Yes, I will buy a term insurance, review my health insurance top-up plan because I thought I had sufficient policy. I'm the verge of buying a home. I will ensure that I buy the property insurance as well. Praneeth, maybe you should just wait in for the next month's session before you buy that house. Budgeting, disability insurance, emergency fund in an account to manage through the bank, increase health insurance top-up. Yes, top-up is a very useful tool. Just speak to your insurance advisors about a top-up insurance. So you can get something like a 40-50 lakh cover for a very little amount of premium. We'll explore for your insurance tools, health, unemployment, etc. Action points are budgeting, disability insurance, and emergency fund. Review my investing habits. Deepak, we have some way to go. Talk about insurance investments. We will be talking about investments, quite a bit of investments, guys, in the next 2-3 months, but we'll get there after the first few hurdles are taken. Identity insurance was interesting, Wilma. Great. Okay.
May I?
Yes, go on. I'm all ears.
So yeah, from my side, the action point is I have yet to start on the budgeting side. At the same time, I will also be reviewing my insurance policies also. And the one more thing from my side, wish you a very happy birthday, Bhuvna.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Devesh. Okay.
Thank you for taking the session today instead of having the birthday.
Thank you, Devesh. I really appreciate you coming and sharing your knowledge, and I'm hoping that we're all taking things away from here. Thank you very much.
Many happy returns of the day, Bhuvna.
Thank you. I didn't want to share this because I know it'll take.
Happy birthday, Bhuvna.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Thanks,
Today
guys.
the session was very nice, actually.
Yeah, it was. Okay. Thank you very much. And yeah, so this is what I had to share for today, guys. This is the second step in our process, and we did a few things along the way. I just have a few minutes to see that on time this month. We didn't lose much time because we wanted to go the full round and stuff. Give me a quick feedback. Was the posting all right? Did you have key learnings? What else would you like covered? Of course, don't tell me investments because we're going to cover investments, but we'll come to it in a little bit. There's a methodical way in doing what we're doing. So you stay with me. What's coming next are some downloadables, of course, the book, the recording, the transcript for this session. we're thinking of doing something called a mid-month mixer, something like a competition. Tanvi's brilliant idea. So we're trying to put something together just in case you have questions to answer, because we were not able to answer all your questions today. Go out there and somebody is there if you want. Neelam, you want to say something?
Sorry, Bhuvna, I missed out on you.
So you put your hand up, so I was just thinking.
Yeah. I was just talking about identity theft insurance. That looks like an interesting topic. And since we make Guru Guruvar videos every week, I would study on this topic, and maybe my office will come up with a video on that in case I get a lot of information about it.
Yeah, share it in the group, please.
Why not? Is there a WhatsApp group available for this group?
Yes. So Kajal will be just sharing that link to join the WhatsApp group. Those of you who are not part of the WhatsApp group, please share. Come in there. There's a lot of conversation happening about investments and leasing and loans and a lot of stuff. So just a lot of interesting conversations. So you can come in. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. So we're thinking of a mid-month mixer just to answer questions. We have, in our group, we have a lot of people, knowledgeable people. So we can have, a session. We can have something like a quiz. So we'll put something together at the middle of the month if that works for you. And please block your calendars for the next session, which will be on 3rd Jan 2021 after the new year. And the topic will be on getting out and staying out of debt. Okay, one more month, please wait until we can talk about investment. Getting out and staying out of debt. So this is another very important hurdle that we'll have to cross to be able to get across to the 10 crores journey. Okay, so does this sound good to you? Share some quick feedback and I'll let you go. And more conversations in the WhatsApp group. More conversations in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. And if you'd like to spread the word, please spread the word. We're okay to take in new people coming in until next month, but we'll have to see how that goes. Please spread the word. Yeah. Please add WhatsApp group if possible. Yes, Kajal will add you. Yeah, great. Thank you. Any feedback is most welcome. If you'd like anything else covered, please share, and more conversations can happen on the WhatsApp group. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And wish you all a very happy December, happy New Year. Hopefully, we'll meet once before the New Year as well. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bhuvna. Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ujjwal.
I was very occupied, so I have not wished you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I don't have the end.